I show a slide where there are 4 questions. Now, the first question is, what do you want to become?
Yeah.
Second question is, why do you want to become it? So, this will give them their what and why.
Yeah.
Once you know what and why,
As a defense and foreign security expert, right, you have witnessed and contributed to many critical areas of society. So what core values or principles have consistently guided your journey, both in the military world and also in the corporate world?
if you want to become from nobody to somebody, just have a correct body language. Now, what is correct body language? You must always be smiling. You must always maintain eye contact.
So we'll talk about these aspects of emotional intelligence and also strategic thinking, right? So how important are they in not only surviving but also thriving in the competitive workplaces?
So if you are emotionally dependent on someone else to give shabashi to you or say well done, other things, then every time you don't get that, then you feel very bad about it.
So, folks, you have tuned into TGV and hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, the world's only quadrilingual podcast at this moment of recording. And we are trying to embark into multiple languages as we speak. And here we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. And we want to simplify and amplify your journey to success. I'm your host, Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place by bringing you wisdom through valuable discussions with experts designed to simplify and amplify your success. And thank you so much for tuning in. So, folks, today we have a powerhouse guest with us, Colonel Sanjit Sirohi, a two-time TEDx speaker and Joe Stock speaker, defense and security expert, and internationally certified soft skills trainer. With over 5,000 students that he has mentored and a wealth of experience in the Indian Army and the corporate world, Colonel Sanjit is a master at turning potential into success, and he is here to share his insights on leadership, employability, and unlocking your inner strength. But before we delve into our topic, from soldier to strategist, lessons in leadership and success, here's an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle our guest's brain first. So, Colonel Sanjit ji, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words, and I'll mention a few. Would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you're ready, let's get started.
Hello, I'm Steve Ahern, one of the judges of the Asia Podcast Awards. I'm interrupting this episode to let you know that you're listening to an award-winning podcast. This podcast won its category in the 2024 Podcast Awards, so you know you're listening to quality. Enjoy your listening experience, and congratulations to the team who created this award-winning podcast for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Wow, I love your energy. Let's get the ball rolling. The first word is leadership.
Is leading from the front.
Discipline.
Only discipline is self-discipline.
Innovation.
Innovation should be for the betterment of mankind.
Okay. Fear.
Face your fear and fear will vanish.
Wow, wow. Success.
There is only one definition of success: to be able to spend your life in your own way.
Wow. Spending life in own way, own terms. Awesome. Next is courage.
Courage, I think, is the first human quality because it guarantees all other qualities.
Integrity.
Integrity, never compromise on integrity.
Change.
Only thing constant in this world is change.
Legacy.
You must leave some legacy in this world once you leave.
Strategy.
Strategy is a planning to achieve something in life.
And the last one is universe.
Universe, law of attraction depends on the contribution of the universe.
Superb. Fabulous. I loved all your responses, so spot on and so profound at the same time. So thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round. There is one more rapid fire round toward the end of the episode. So stay tuned. And Colonel Sanjit ji, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice English as well. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm on top of the world.
Wonderful. I love your energy and passion. And let's get the ball rolling. So we'll begin with your guiding voice. So talk to us about your guiding voice.
My guiding voice is when my father was alive, he was my guiding voice. After him, there is a divine angel. I don't know from where she has come. Whenever I have to decide on anything, she is always there. She comes in my dream and tells me what to do and what not to do.
Superb. And then can you talk about your success mantra as in the top three things that have contributed to your success so far?
Naveen ji, first is a burning desire. Whatever I have done in life, I always had that desire, and it was not only desire, it was a burning desire. That is, it has to be achieved, it has to be done, irrespective of the challenges, irrespective of the obstacles. That was number one. And since I belong to the army background, it was the self discipline. And third was the self confidence. These three things were there, they were which are always with me. Whenever I want to achieve anything, I achieve with the help of these three things.
Yeah, these are really important and you have summarized so well. So, burning desire, self discipline, and self confidence. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Let's move to the next one. Like navigating the corporate world, right, can often feel like being in a jungle or a forest. So, what are the top qualities for someone who need to be the big cat, a leader or a trailblazer in this environment?
Naveenji, I'll list out few and you can take whatever you want to take because that is my experience both in the army and dealing with the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
First is I have always felt that you should not ask anyone what do you do
Mm.
because that is a very, very inquisitive and very, very interrogating type of a question, right? Because once you do that, what you're doing is actually you're putting the other person off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of asking, what do you do? Just ask him that, how do you spend your time? Now it gives option to the listener to tell you how does he spend his time, how much does he work, how much is his leisure time, what all he does in his spare time, what are his hobbies. So that is more of a conversation. So first thing is never ask anyone what do you do. That is in the corporate world. I think if you do that, then people will start respecting you because it is more of intimidating when you ask someone what do you do. Number two is, like I tell all the students, that when you apply for a job, don't have only one resume or a CV. Every job has a different requirement. Every company has a different requirement. So you must have a different resume or CV for different job. Same is the case when you are in any conversation with anybody. Normally, if you don't ask what do you do, then people, 99% of the people, they normally ask what do you do. So what you should have about dozens of the variations of your elevator pitch, what we say. That is your short resume, and that should depend on the person who is asking. Because every person has got different interests. So if that person, if you know the interest of that person, if you know the intention of that person, that why that this question is asked, accordingly you must give your answer. So what will happen is, firstly, you will be able to tell what is relevant to him. And secondly, it may help you out in networking also. That is number two. Number three is improving your vocabulary. There is a slight difference between a rich vocabulary and middle of the road vocabulary. And that difference is only 50 words. And what I suggest is that just note down whenever you speak any word, just note down whenever you are in conversation, just keep in mind what are the main words which you are using in the conversation, whether in while you are conversing or whether you are writing. Now, replace those words with some rich words, with some words which gives your class, which tells people that of what class you belong to. And 50 words, I think, are more than sufficient. And every day, it is very, very easy. Every day, replace one word with a rich phrase. And within 2 months, you will join the elite club whose the vocabulary is very good. That is number three, the corporate world, very, very important. Whether you are speaking or you are writing, so this will help you out.
Mhm.
Next is whenever you have something in common with anyone, don't immediately, like if I ask Naveen, which place do you belong? And you say, sir, I am from Hyderabad. And I say, oh, I am also from Hyderabad. Instead of doing that, after having some conversation, and then you should say that Naveen, I also belong to the same town. You see the difference. Although the words are the same, but just pausing for some time will impress the other person. That is fourth thing which I want to tell. And fifth thing is that for every man, he himself is very, very important. So whenever you start conversing with someone, you start with you, right? When you start with you, what happens? Firstly, that person starts giving you attention. Number two, that person feel important because his pride button, you have pressed his pride button by saying you. Because when we are small child, we think that we are the center of the world. And we see all other people around us, that these people or these shadows are there for my benefit. So that little child always think that what is there for me. As we grow old, our brain is wired in such a manner that we also want to feel important. So whenever anybody tells you, okay, if I am talking to you, I say, you are looking so smart today, you are looking to this, immediately your attention will come to me. And secondly, you will give a positive response. Another thing which I have always seen is that, like resume, I said that you must have some verbal resume for every different person. You should have also a different smile for different people.
Mhm.
Don't have smile for everyone, same smile for everyone. Suppose there is a group and you find that somebody is more important in that group, keep a special smile, and I call it a flooding smile. It should radiate from your complete face, not only from your mouth. So you must have a flooding smile. Then next thing is that giving a news. When you give a news, you must not keep the news in mind. You must always keep the receiver in mind. You may be giving bad news to someone, but when you are giving the bad news, just keep that person who is receiving in mind. Because sometimes what happens is when we are giving bad news, we are giving in a very lighter fashion. So we must keep that in mind. Otherwise, the other person will get offended on that. And the last is that whenever you are in some conference, or you are, for example, you are in a restaurant, and on the next table you see some celebrity there. So normal reaction of the people is they get so excited that they start behaving like a child. Don't do that. Be a VIP in your own class. Don't slobber on other people, right? For example, I'll tell you, if you're sitting and having a dinner in a restaurant and you see few tables away Amitabh Bachchan also eating. So, and he's a great celebrity, everyone knows him. So the normally people, they get so excited, they start looking at him, they start rushing towards it. Don't do that. Just look at him. If he's also looking at you, just give a smile and then continue with your food. Because I have seen most of the people, they start slobbering. So don't slobber. And last is, whenever you have to thank somebody, don't give naked thank you. When I say naked thank you means, just don't say thank you. Say thank you for what? Thank you for coming for my party. Thank you for coming my ceremony. Thank you for whatever is there. But you must always add, because once you add that, then that person feels so happy about it that next time when you meet him, you will meet a different person. So these are few things. If you follow these things in the corporate world, I think you will become a big cat, Naveen.
Wow. No naked thank you. Amazing. And also, I've seen many people reacting so excitedly when they come across some big shot or a celebrity and all. I think these are some amazing tips And thank you so much, Colonel, for sharing this. And let's move forward. So we'll talk about these aspects of emotional intelligence and also strategic thinking, right? So how important are they in not only surviving but also thriving in the competitive workplaces?
Look, emotional intelligence is very, very important, and it has assumed its importance more in the present scenario. Now, I'll tell you that in my time, in my young days, the world was changing, but it was not changing so fast. Nowadays, the world is changing very, very fast. What you see today or what technology you see today, maybe after 2, 3 years, that technology will be no more. There will be something else. Whatever skills you are learning, I'll say in my time, there was C, C plus, Java. Now nobody talks about C, C plus and Java. So all the skills and everything is changing. So emotional intelligence is very, very important because the pace at which the uh, working life is moving, it is very, very fast, and people are getting burnout very fast. So they have to be emotionally independent. When I say emotionally independent, there is a phrase in psychology which is known as object reference. Now, what does object reference means is that you focus on others and seek their approval, and it means that you want external approval from someone. So if you are mostly dependent on someone else to give shabashi to you or say well done, other things, then every time you don't get that, then you feel very bad about.
Mhm.
So that is number one. Number two is that everyone is talking to everyone, whether it is a Facebook, whether it is an email, whether you're chatting in WhatsApp, LinkedIn. But if you see, most of the time we are alone. We are talking to everyone, but nobody is listening to us. So that is number two. Number three is that we, as a working class, are in desperate need for connection, for empathy, and for open communication, which is missing. So we have to be emotionally very, very strong. Number fourth is that in any organization, you will see nowadays there is downsizing. Downsizing means that when there were three people doing the same work, now there is only one person who is doing the complete work. So that person is now visible all the time. Earlier, before pre-COVID, people used to go to the office, and when used to leave the office work was over. Now it is 24 by 7. They will give you a call at 11 o'clock, they will send you email. So all these things are very, very important. So the emotional importance has assumed a significant importance in today's world. So I have seen in the army also emotional intelligence was there, but the things were not changing so fast. The things are changing very fast in the corporate world. Now, as far as the strategic thinking is concerned, it is very, very important because I said there is too much of change which is taking place. And if there is too much of change taking place, then you have to think big. Now, big means for corporate world is that you have to analyze where you are today. Then you have to find out where you want to reach next year or after 2 years or 10 years. And then you have to plan how to reach where I want to reach. So that's why the strategic thinking is very, very important. And both emotional intelligence and strategic thinking. So people must learn or people must develop their emotional intelligence. Naveen.
Wow. Superb. I think we have hit the right chord, and this is very, very important, especially for those who are in a leadership position or who are aspiring to get there. And now let's move forward to the next one, which is around the confidence. And it is often the key to unlocking opportunity, but it's not that easy to build. And in your success mantra, you mentioned self confidence is one of your key success mantras, right? So, we would like to hear from you what practical strategies do you use to help individuals cultivate this unshakable confidence, especially in high stakes scenario?
Naveen, firstly, I want to clarify that some people have got this misnomer that confidence is inbuilt. It is
Yeah,
innate ability. It is
yeah.
not innate ability. It is you have to cultivate the confidence. And when you cultivate the confidence, that time the chances are that if you are naturally confident, the
Mhm.
chances are that at some stage something will happen and your confidence will crash down. But if you cultivate the confidence, then I can assure you in every circumstances, you will be able to face that circumstances with full confidence. Now, how to be full confident? Firstly, you must always plan whatever you are doing, you must plan and prepare yourself. That is
Mhm.
number one. Now, planning and preparing involve that whatever you are doing, you must learn that, you must practice that, you must train on it. So your confidence automatically is confidence. From where does the confidence come? There are two basic reasons, things where confidence come. First is your knowledge, and second is your communication skills.
Right.
So first point which I have given you are on your knowledge.
Right.
Third is that you must recognize, you must always think what you are thinking. Because I have seen, and not I have seen, it is a record, written record, that we normally think about 50,000 of times in a day. And out of 50,000, 90,000 times we think negative. So that means 45,000 times we are thinking negative. That is the self-talk. So whenever we are sitting idle, just have a check, thinking check. What are you thinking? If you are thinking something negative, switch over to positive thinking, because your mind cannot stay in vacuum. That is the third thing. Number four, I have seen most of the people very, very passive.
Yeah.
Either there are some people who are very aggressive, some
Mm.
people they are passive. So you have to be assertive. Whatever you feel is right, please convey it. And whatever you feel that other person is saying is right, please accept it.
Yeah.
Next thing is set your confidence targets. Now, what is your confidence target? Set a goal, achieve it. Once you achieve the goal, your confidence level goes up. Start conversing with a stranger. Whenever you meet any stranger, or whenever you see that somebody is very, very important person in a group, normally what we do is we hide and we don't want to meet that person because he is a VIP, he is a special person. Everyone is running towards him and you are running away from him. Don't do that. Most important person, you should be the first one and go and start the conversation. If you do that, I can tell you, you will be able to speak to Narendra Modi ji whenever he comes. You will not get intimidated by him. Destroy your self-doubt. There should be no self-doubt. Don't compare yourself with anyone. And if you have to compare with anyone, start comparing with person who is inferior to you, because that will give you more confidence. Next is learn something new. Because in today's world, if you have to stay in the top bracket, you have to be better than others. And you can only be better than others if you have some new skills with you. Next is there are two things, our body and our mind. When we are feeling low in confidence, we should make a point that our posture is very, very, that is known as power posture. We must get into a power posture. And when we get into power posture, you will see that your confidence level always go up. So these are the few things I tell, that whenever you feel and you start cultivating it. And as you cultivate, you will realize that in spite of any obstacle, in spite of any challenges, you will realize that you will be able to sail through without any problem.
Superb. Amazing. Especially talking to strangers, right? That is like pushing ourselves out of comfort zone. And if we once inculcate that habit, it is easy for us to meet anyone, irrespective of their stature. And that's a great tip. Out of all those you have shared, I think this is an amazing conversation. And Colonel, let's move forward. As a defense and foreign security expert, right? You have witnessed and contributed to many critical areas of society. So, what core values or principles have consistently guided your journey, both in the military world and also in the corporate world?
Naveen, when I finished off my college and joined the Indian Military Academy,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and when I underwent a training, I realized that there are certain things. Because if you see, there's a fortune wheel,
Hmm.
or we call it time wheel, which keeps on going. Sometime you're up, sometime you're down. Now,
Yeah.
if you're on the rim, so you will be going up and down only.
Right.
But if you are on the center of the wheel, neither you will go up, neither you will go down. Right?
Yeah.
So if you want to be in the center of the wheel, then you must have certain core values and certain principles in life. And once you follow those core values and principles in life, you will realize that it will be very easy. Firstly, it will be very easy for you to take the decision. Whenever there is a crossroad, when there is a fork on the road, you have to decide left or right. Just keep your core values and your principles in mind, and you will 100% you will choose the correct road. So you must. So that is the time I realized during my training that if I have to, because the training is very, very tough. Sometimes it is humanly impossible for anyone who has not been in the army,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And after that, I did my commando course. So then I realized that the potential of the human being is very, very high. So what happens is that we eventually don't get a sleep. In one night, we next day we curse ourselves. We are very, very lazy. But I had seen that for continuous nights, one has not slept. At that time, I realized that how much potential does the human body has. So let's coming to the core values. First is I've always followed that do what is right. And
Hmm.
what is right, nobody in this world doesn't know that what is right, what is wrong. So your conscience, ask your conscience what is right and do that.
Hmm.
Irrespective whether people they like it or they don't like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in the long run, they will realize it. And then number two is look after your men in the army or your reportees in the corporate world. Normally, what happens is that they do the buttering for the seniors and they start kicking their juniors.
Correct. Yeah.
That is the normal policy. But what I have followed is that you must always look after your men, and in the corporate world, look after your reportees. It is better to be a better human being than to be a CEO of a company and people all cursing you. Number two. Number three is never blame the organization or the top man, because some people, in the guise of achieving cheap popularity, they start discouraging, or they start blaming the management, or they start blaming the top men to make sure that other people they start liking him. Never do that. And fourth core value is respect everyone, especially your juniors.
Yeah.
Don't think that they are your juniors, so they are inferior to you. No, they are junior to you because they are younger than you.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, when you retire, they will come in your chair.
Right.
So these are the four core values I have followed. And as far the principles are concerned,
Hmm.
basically there are three principles. First is I realized when I joined the academy, life is hard for everyone, for you and me. It was hard earlier. It is hard today. Will be hard tomorrow.
Yeah.
Life is not easy. Number two, everything you are today or you will be tomorrow, it all depends on you.
Yeah.
And number three is you can learn anything you need to learn to become anyone you want to become, to achieve anything you want to achieve. It is entirely up to you. So if you follow these three principles and follow those four core values, you will always be in the center of the wheel and you will not go up or you will go down.
Wow.
Naveen.
Amazing, amazing. And I've seen that you conduct a lot of workshops, especially for these young professionals, right? I would like to understand from you, how do you help them figure out what matters most to them in life so that they can align their career goals accordingly?
Naveen, it is very, very simple.
Hmm.
And I make it more simple.
Hmm.
Initially, when I conduct a workshop, I show a slide where there are four questions.
Hmm.
Now, the first question is, what do you want to become?
Yeah.
Second question is, why do you want to become it? So, this will give them their what and why.
Yeah.
Once you know and what and why, so your purpose, your goal, your objective in life is very, very clear. So if a candidate or a student, he knows what he wants to become and why he wants to become. Why I am adding why is because it is the why which will take you through. What everybody wants to become a Prime Minister of India.
Right.
But why they want to become a Prime Minister of India, they don't know. So until unless they know why they want to become a Prime Minister, they will not work hard to become a Prime Minister. So these two things will lead to them for their purpose, goal, objective. Next question is, what should I become to become what I want to become?
Hmm.
That is, मेरे को क्या बनना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए जिससे मैं वो बन सकूं जो मैं बनना चाहता हूं. Right?
Yeah.
So that will tell you how. And most important, and the last is in this competitive world, the fourth question which I tell them to ask themselves is, what should I do so that I stand out from the rest of the crowd?
Hmm. Hmm.
So if anybody can answer these four questions, after that they don't require any motivation, they don't require any coaching. These four questions are sufficient to put them in the right direction and start working in that.
I love it. I think these are very, very important questions, and that will essentially give them clarity in terms of what they want to do and why they want to do, and automatically things
Yes.
will be figured it out in terms of next steps can be made visible. Amazing. And there is one more question from my end. Like we, as adults, right, we often lose touch with the curiosity and fearlessness we had as children, right? But why do we forget about that, and why do we lose touch with that? So how do you encourage people to rediscover their inner child, and how can this help in building resilience in today's world?
Naveen, I had given a talk on international webinar, how
Mhm.
to read this child in you. So I will take out few points from that.
Yeah.
But still, that in all of us, there is a you, inverted commas, you. And that you is a child.
Hmm.
So when you're a child, that you which is inside us is very, very active. And when that you is active, you are very full of energy, you are enthusiastic, you have a resilient, you have a determination, have perseverance, you don't procrastinate, you do anything to get what you want to achieve in life. You will cry, you will shout, you will start showing tantrums and other things. You will start throwing tantrums, other things to achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
But as we grow old, that you inside starts dying out. And when that child inside you start dying out, then you stop doing all these things, good things which you did as a child. You stop doing that and you become adult who has got no energy, who has got no goal, who has got no resilience, and all those things they start missing. So my first point is never allow that you to die inside. That is number one. Number two is when we grow old, we stop giving preferences to our choices. We start listening to others. If you see the child, if he or she wants anything, then you may say anything to him or her. But if or she wants it, she will take it. What we do is we start compromising. We
Right.
say कि नहीं चलो अपने बेटे को दो let me give to my son, to my daughter. So
Right.
second thing which everyone is that you must start honoring your preferences, whether small or big. Small example, if there is family going for a dinner, just sit on that table on which you want, on that chair which you want to sit. If somebody else tells you, okay, I want to sit there, you say, no, I will sit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Second thing is you must set a goal. What happens is as we grow old, we stop having goals. So if you have a goal, you will always be excited, you will be always be enthusiastic, you will be always be full of energy to achieve that goal. Next is start doing everything which is courageous. Don't think that you have become old. so I cannot do it or I will not do it. No. If child can jump in a swimming pool without realizing that he doesn't know the swimming, and we think 10 times कि नहीं यार मैं नहीं कूदूंगा, so that is difference between child and adult. Start doing things which require courage. Every act of love, whenever you show love to somebody, you are childish, because you will find child loving their parents and loving openly. They are not inhibited about anyone. And next thing is, have your dreams. I always tell the students, never allow your dream to die down, because the dreams may be different. In childhood, you may have different dream. In your young age, you will have different. In adult age, you will have different. In old age, always have a dream. So have all these things, and I can assure you, you'll never grow old. You always be child.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm loving the conversation. And also, I've gone through one of your posts which said, wherein you mentioned about the importance of turning from nobody to somebody in just a minute, right? So, how can someone make a lasting first impression in such a short time, especially in high pressure environments like interviews or corporate settings, or when we meet someone, a big shot kind of thing, or a prominent person?
Okay, I will, without taking much time, because you have given me only 1 minute, so I will try to finish it in 1 minute. If you want to become from nobody to somebody, just have a correct body language. Now, what is correct body language? You must always be smiling. You must always maintain eye contact. You must always have a correct posture, whether you're standing or sitting. Don't fidget. Don't play with your hands. So if you follow all this, whenever you have to shake hands with warmth. And last is that your clothing are very, very important, because whatever clothes you are wearing will affect your performance, will affect your psychology. So if you follow these things, then you will become nobody to somebody in 10 seconds, guaranteed.
Super. All right. Wonderful. I loved all the tips. So, Colonel Sanjit, I think I should have met you long time ago to have learned all these tips, but these are invaluable to everyone, whether it is a young professional or somebody at a senior level, right? So these are all some valuable life lessons that you are teaching to me and our audience today. And this has been incredible conversation so far. And it's time for us to add some more spice and some more excitement to the episode. You're ready? Let's get into the second rapid fire round. Okay.
I'm
All
ready.
right. Okay. Here comes the first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Be kind to everyone.
Be kind to everyone. Superb. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
Trustworthy.
And one skill that everyone should master.
Communication skill.
And army or corporate life, tougher to navigate. Which one?
Corporate.
And a motto you live by.
Do your best.
The best advice you have ever received.
Look after your troops.
And one thing that instantly boosts your confidence.
Challenges.
And most inspiring person you have ever met.
My father.
One thing people don't know about you.
I am very empathetic. I am
And
over
you're-
empathetic.
Okay. And here comes the last one. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
Time machine.
Time machine. Yeah, I think we might see time machine very soon because many people are manifesting for it. And thank you so much for participating in the second rapid fire round. It was really rapid. And I loved all your responses. And with that, let's flip back to the mainstream. And here comes my last but one question. So, how do you see this Gen Z reshaping leadership in the workplace? And what unique qualities do they bring to the table that previous generations might have not emphasized as much?
Naveen, firstly, the generation which is coming now, they are very, very innovative. That is number one. Number two, they are very, very humble people. They have a lot of humility.
Yeah.
Third thing is they have a lot of curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know each and everything.
Yeah.
And fourth is that they are open-minded. They have not
Mm.
fixed mindset. They have an open mindset or they have a growth mindset. Now, if you see these qualities are now transforming into a visionary helper. In older times, the leaders were more of an autocratic, authoritative. Now, the leadership, what is required and what is coming up with this new generation is the visionary helper. Visionary helper means they are servant leadership. You call it servant leadership.
Yeah.
They behave like a servant, but they are the leader. Now, once you have those qualities, it helps them to continually learn. They can anticipate the changes which are coming up. They can envision new possibilities. They are more empathetic and they like to communicate more. And they are accustomed to change, that is, they are more flexible and they are exposed to diverse influence, so they are able to handle the diversity in a much better way, because nowadays in a global like world has become a global village. You have to work with different type of people with different language, different caste, creed, country. So I think they are doing wonderful job as regard all these things, and these are the types of leaders which are required today.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I think we are in exciting times at this moment where four generations of workforce are working together, and all these Gen Z folks are coming up with new ideas. And most importantly, the flexibility and diversity part is what attracts me a lot. And Colonel Sanjit, this has been an amazing conversation, one of the best conversations I've had on the platform, and it was really lovely hosting you. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice? Is there any feedback that you'd like to share with us?
I think it was a wonderful experience, and why I will call it wonderful is that whatever question you are asking,
Hmm.
and the audience, whosoever he is, in whatever age level bracket he is going to, if he listens it properly, and if he follows it, not 100%, but maybe even 50%, I think his personality, his life will change for the better. I can assure that, because I am convinced that the question which you have asked and the answers I have given, if these two things are so matching and they have been, the question and answers have been gelled so well, that anybody who listens or who views this podcast, I think they are going to benefit hell of a lot. That is my thinking. That's why I call it very, very wonderful and very, very educative, not only for those who are going to listen to it, but even for me, because when I was giving the answers, I was thinking and then I realized that how important these things are.
Hmm. All right. Thank you so much for the feedback and all the kind words. And most importantly, thank you for spending your valuable time with us on our platform. And I'm looking forward to hosting you again in future. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. So, friends, that was our episode with Colonel Sanjit Singh Sirohi. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, please share with at least three of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, the guiding voice. So, spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you. Now, it's time for us to cruise into the trivia segment. Having had amazing conversation with Kallal, right? I thought I would present you two lesser known facts about the Indian Army. You know, the Indian Army built the world's highest bridge. The Indian Army holds the distinction of building Bailey Bridge, the highest altitude bridge in the world, located in the Ladakh Valley between the Dras and Suru rivers. It was constructed in 1982 by the Indian Army Corps of Engineers. It sits at an altitude of 5,602 meters, which is like 18,379 feet above sea level. Second is Indian Army operates one of the world's largest volunteer forces. Unlike many other nations, the Indian Army is entirely voluntary. And despite compulsory military service being common in several countries, India has never had conscription. And all soldiers in the Indian Army have joined of their own free will, making it one of the largest standing volunteer armies globally with over 1.4 million active personnel. So, folks, that's it from the trivia perspective from my side. Likewise, if you are aware of any interesting facts related to Indian Army, or if you know any leader that served Indian Army who you think our audience will get inspired, do let us know. We definitely would like to interview them. And please, if you are watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there. Or if you have found this episode on some social media platforms, you can comment there as well. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV community. And until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you on the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all.